When the night is quiet and the world is resting, many older souls find themselves awake, not by choice, but by pain. If you're over 60 and still waking up with your hands gripping your leg in the dark, you must understand this is not a natural part of aging. It is not your body wearing out. No, it is a signal, a message. And sadly, most people have stopped listening. Cramps are not random. They are not a punishment either. They are the language of the nervous system, subtle but insistent. They whisper of imbalance, often in the most essential of places, your diet. What you choose to put on your plate or leave off it has a ripple effect far beyond the meal. It may be quietly draining your strength, interrupting your rest, shortening your steps, and weakening your foundation. But I offer this with clarity. It can be reversed, not with pills, not with force, but with awareness and food. Nature, in its quiet wisdom, has provided us with what we need. In the next few moments, I will share 3 foods that do not merely stop the cramp. They rebuild, they restore circulation, strength, and that steady foundation your body has been longing for. And the first is often the most overlooked, avocados, a fruit humble in appearance, but noble in purpose. For years, avocados were ignored, unfit for the sweet, flashy trends of modern diets, too fatty, too plain. But traditional wisdom and now science has brought them into the light again. Not as a fashion, not as a topping for toast, but as medicine, especially for those of us walking the second half of life's path. Let us begin with what matters most beyond the age of 60, muscle function and the quiet resilience of the nervous system. With each passing year, our internal balance becomes more delicate. We lose potassium more quickly. Magnesium levels diminish without fanfare. And when these minerals are low, the body cries out, not in words, but in spasms, in twitches, in the shock of a calf locking tight as we walk or rest. These are not accidents, these are warnings. The nervous system knocking gently on the door, asking, will you replenish me? Avocados answer that call, not with violence, but with gentleness, not with a crash, but a calm return to equilibrium. One avocado contains nearly 700 milligrams of potassium, more than a banana, but without the sugar that so often destabilizes the aging body. You see, bananas deliver sugar quickly, and for some seniors, that surge can cause more harm than help. Avocados come wrapped in healthy monounsaturated fats, fats that do not inflame but soothe. They balance blood sugar, they support the heart, they create stability and magnesium. The forgotten mineral. Its absence is often mistaken for fatigue, poor sleep, or mental fog, but its role is deeper. It is the mineral of relaxation. Without magnesium, the body clenches, the back stiffens, the legs drag, even the heart's rhythm may waver. Avocados provide this too, and in a form the body understands. Few foods offer this sacred pairing, magnesium and potassium in harmony. It is not the quantity alone that matters, but the proportion, the way the body receives and integrates it. Avocados, in this sense, are wise. They bring minerals not as isolated compounds, but as part of a whole, supported by fats, fiber, and subtle antioxidants. Yes, the benefit goes far beyond cramps. These fruits are anti-inflammatory. They contain phytosterols, lutein, and zeaxanthin, compounds that guard against oxidative stress, the invisible erosion caused by time, pollution, and emotional strain. They protect nerves, especially those responsible for balance, coordination, and the sense of presence in your own body. If you've been feeling unsure on your feet lately, it may not be age, it may be nutrition, and that we can change. Avocados also tend the blood vessels. Potassium helps relax them, allowing blood to flow with less resistance. When combined with the fiber in the avocado's flesh, this process deepens. Fiber slows digestion, giving the body time to absorb, regulate, and heal. Cholesterol improves. Blood sugar evens out. The gut steadies. With one fruit, you nourish the entire system: heart, brain, muscles, and mind. For those of you who suffer from nighttime cramps, the sharp, sudden kind that interrupts your rest, avocados can become a nightly ally. Their slow digesting fats keep blood sugar steady through the dark hours. That is important. Many nocturnal cramps come not from movement, but from a drop in blood sugar or subtle dehydration. Avocados address both. And if you worry about the fat content, let me say this clearly. These are not the fats to fear. These are the fats that protect the heart, support hormone production, and assist in the absorption of vital fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, K. These are the fats that carry wisdom through your bloodstream, not confusion. In this one food, you will find not just nutrition, but companionship, a quiet, steady force that restores without noise. It is not trendy, it is not magical, but it works. And that, in the end, is what matters most. As we age, the body becomes more selective, more sensitive to what it receives. The systems that once absorbed and processed nutrients effortlessly now require more care, more intention. This is especially true for the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. These are not just letters on a bottle. They are the gatekeepers of vision, bone strength, immune resilience, and cellular repair. But without the right fats, they remain locked away, unused. This is where avocados offer yet another silent gift. Their natural fats do more than nourish, they enable. Unlike processed oils that inflame or saturated fats that clog and confuse the body, the fats in avocado help lower LDL cholesterol, the kind that burdens your arteries, and raise HDL, the kind that protects and heals. But nutrition, my friends, is not just a biochemical event. It is emotional, it is spiritual. When we eat well, we feel well, not just in our limbs, but in our hearts and minds. Avocados contain small but meaningful amounts of B vitamins and folate, substances known to support brain chemistry and emotional equilibrium. These nutrients don't shout, they don't sedate, they simply steady. They soften the waves of anxiety, they sharpen focus, they help you feel more like yourself again. Modern nutritional psychology is just beginning to confirm what ancient traditions have always known. When the cells are nourished, the spirit lifts, the mind clears, reactions soften. We move through the day not rushed, not foggy, but present, rooted, like a tree that no longer sways wildly in the storm. You see, food is not just fuel, it is feedback. It is a conversation between the outer world and your inner world. So the question becomes, how will you listen? Eating avocado doesn't require ceremony, but it does benefit from simplicity. A half drizzled with olive oil and a sprinkle of sea salt, mashed gently onto sprouted grain toast, blended into a smoothie with greens and almond milk, or sliced over a salad kissed with lemon. The method is not complicated. The intention is what matters. Avoid frying it. Don't pair it with processed sugary sauces. The goal is not confusion. The goal is calm, steady nourishment. A single half avocado each day is often enough to replenish key minerals, restore balance, and protect without overwhelming. And if you choose to pair it with dark leafy greens or a handful of nuts, the body will absorb even more. These combinations are not just meals, they are moments of recovery, opportunities to repair rather than react. Let me be clear, avocados are not a trend, they are a tool. A quiet weapon against cramps, fatigue, brain fog, and frailty. They come with no side effects, no expiration date on their relevance. They offer bioavailable nutrition, meaning your body knows what to do with it immediately. So the next time your legs feel heavy, when your mood drops, when your sleep is shallow, or your energy stumbles, do not reach for sugar. Sugar stimulates, but it does not support. Reach for substance. Reach for what heals, not what distracts. At this stage in life, every meal is a quiet act of devotion. A question, do I inflame or do I calm? Do I numb or do I nourish? With avocado, the choice becomes clear. It brings clarity, not noise, strength, not stimulation. And now we turn to the second offering from nature. Less fashionable perhaps, but just as powerful. Sweet potatoes, earth-born, humble, deeply orange. Often dismissed as a simple side dish, they are in truth one of the most overlooked sources of deep cellular restoration for older adults. Their strength lies not just in flavor or fiber, but in their mineral composition. Sweet potatoes are rich in magnesium, potassium, and calcium, the very minerals your muscles, nerves, and bones rely on to function in harmony. When muscles cramp, whether it's a calf at midnight, a foot during a walk, or your back after too much sitting, it is often not simply dehydration. It is electrolyte imbalance. Magnesium relaxes the muscle. Potassium allows it to contract. Calcium enables the nerve signals that coordinate every movement. If even one of these elements falls out of rhythm, the body lets you know, with pain, with twitching, with stiffness, with weakness. Unlike synthetic supplements, which the body sometimes struggles to absorb, sweet potatoes offer these minerals in a form the body recognizes. They come wrapped in fiber, water, and natural sugars that digest slowly and gently. That's where their second gift lies. They are a complex carbohydrate, not a fast-burning sugar. As the body ages, its ability to regulate insulin declines. Sudden spikes in blood sugar are harder to manage, and they often leave behind a trail of fatigue, inflammation, and mental fog. Sweet potatoes do not crash you. They carry you. Their carbohydrates break down slowly, delivering a steady stream of energy and restoring glycogen. Your muscles reserve fuel, and in doing so, they reduce the frequency of cramps, restore energy after movement, and calm the body from the inside out. When a food offers relief on many levels, physical, emotional, systemic, it is no longer just food. It becomes a companion on the healing path. Sweet potatoes are such a companion. Their minerals, yes, restore the balance of your muscles, but pair that with their anti-inflammatory nature, and you have something far more complete. You have a food that helps you move with greater ease, rest with greater depth, and recover, not in a rush, but in rhythm. Yet the medicine of sweet potatoes goes even further. Beneath their orange hue lies a dense reserve of beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that converts into vitamin A. This is the vitamin of sight, skin, and self-defense. As the years pass, our vision may blur, our skin loses its ability to repair, and the immune system doesn't respond with the same vigor it once did. But beta-carotene resists that decline. It fortifies the retina, helps preserve night vision, and strengthens the mucous membranes, those unseen guardians that protect your respiratory and digestive systems from external threats. In other words, every bite of sweet potato is an act of resistance, not against aging, but against unnecessary loss. And the healing doesn't stop at the eyes or the skin. It reaches the gut, where much of our immune strength and mood stability reside. Sweet potatoes are rich in natural fiber, and this fiber acts like a broom, sweeping gently through the intestines, clearing stagnation, and feeding the microbiome, the beneficial bacteria that regulate everything from digestion to emotional balance. If constipation, bloating, or irregularity have quietly become your norm, especially due to medication or inactivity, adding sweet potatoes may help restore rhythm to your days. Digestion, like breath, like rest, needs a pattern, and fiber helps you remember that pattern. Now, let us pause and consider the question: how should this root be prepared? Because intention matters. Not only what we eat, but how we treat it. Boiling, if overdone, can rob the sweet potato of its minerals, letting them slip away into the water. But steaming, roasting, or baking, these preserve what is essential. They also enhance the natural sweetness and density without requiring sugar or